Welcome back, everybody. My name's Lauren Harris. I'm a children's book author, and I'm here with Joe Everson, the illustrator of my new book, Bing himself, the story of Bing Crosby, the world's first multimedia star. Super excited to be here with you, Joe, to talk about the paintings from the book and a little bit of the backstory. So let's get right into it. I see that you've got a picture there behind you that's from the middle of the book. Yesterday we kind of talked about the beginning of Bing's life. We're into his film career now, and this picture is wonderful to talk about Bing's film career. So it's a still from his Oscar-winning movie role in Going My Way. This was 1944, in the middle of World War II. And Bing was playing a priest in this movie, which was familiar to him because he grew up in the Catholic Church and went to Gonzaga University. But, Bing said, and I put this quote in the book because he said it, he pretty much, in every movie, pretty much played himself. And I think that that's what made him so popular, because people could relate to him. He was relatable, he was adorable, he was funny. He just had all the qualities that you want in somebody that you feel like you're getting to know in a movie. And so I just love this picture. Tell me about how you put it together.
Well, I think that's really cool that, once again, we're making the connection between all this being the first multimedia star and going into this screenplay, music. And for me, it's very similar with the singing and the painting and trying to express multiple aspects of being that artist. And each piece I get to explore something new or something kind of revisited. And in this one, I really wanted to go back to a little bit of that old film again. So obviously taking some liberties in the color, and wanted to create some fun pops here and there with the type of floor. Some of these things you don't see the same way anymore in our modern look of homes and all that. I just thought it was fun with the telephone and, reminding us, yes, this is from way back when, but it's also really cool. And this awesome that this would be, did you say it was his first Oscar for
Yes.
this one? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. And just to kind of bring that together and to codify it into one of his fun moments of obviously a major speaking role and moment in the film and everything. And I used a lot of water, by the way, in the windows. So if you look closely at it, you'll see it's almost like watercolor mixed with acrylic to create that kind of shiny, hazy look in the background. So a couple of things like that implemented into this piece was really fun.
Oh, that's great. And by the way, if you happen to find yourself in Spokane, Washington, you need to stop by the Bing Crosby House Museum and see Bing's actual Oscar that he won for this film, Going My Way.
It's so awesome.
So the next picture that you did this is just so lovely. I could not believe how beautiful it turned out. This is Bing with his wife, his first wife, Dixie Lee. And she sadly passed away from cancer later on, but this picture is when they were first married. And I have to say, Dixie was more popular than Bing when they got married. So the newspaper, when they announced the wedding, got his name wrong and put that he was a band leader.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but she was a lovely actress there in Hollywood, but she was so happy to step away from that. She didn't love the limelight so much as the camera loved her. So she stayed home with their 4 sons, and she was happy to be their mom and be Bing's wife. And that this picture tells me that part of the story, that she really loved being Mrs. Bing Crosby.
Oh, wonderful. Oh man, that's so cool. I really I sourced the idea of old films sometimes having a little bit of that glow and that haze that they'll use in cinema and back in the day, and they try to replicate it now. You can get kits and things for even digital cameras to try to have a little bit of that glowy look that you would get back then. And that's where I went once again with some warm pops But with those warm areas, I also stayed very loose and very light to create this kind of glow and feeling of obviously love in the air and all of that, as well as something to really bring in that old film vibe just a little bit. And each one of these, once again, I'm going to dig into just a little bit more of something new every time. I really wanted to capture, though, their relationship and that feeling of love for each other and the warmth that you have in a family like that. So beautiful to look at. And thank you for that bit of story with it.
Beautiful. So this next picture, oh wow, how do you intro this?
I was just going to say, this is going to be a hard one, but I think you're doing great. Just keep right along. I mean,
There is,
how do you do this?
yeah, this is iconic all the way around. The fact that Bing is in this movie with these other performers, Rosemary, Vera Ellen, Danny Kaye, in these costumes, in this scene, everybody knows it. It is delightful, and you captured the feel of the movie in this one painting, and it's just gorgeous. White Christmas was probably Bing's most famous film, which it was right after Dixie had passed away, and so he was a little bit down, and I just love Danny Kaye stepped in and just made the film more fun for Bing. We all know the fun sisters, um, portion of the film,
Yes.
but just to think about America at that time, recovering from World War II, and the fact that Bing had chosen to sing the song White Christmas was really from the movie Holiday Inn first. But Bing pushed up the release of the song to Christmas Day 1941 because it was right after Pearl Harbor, and he wanted to have this as part of people's hope that they could have for the future. Everything's going to be okay, and I just get that feel in this movie. We really do.
Oh man, it's absolutely a favorite. Every year, we're obviously upon that time again this year, and it will be watched maybe multiple times. But I remember growing up on the music and the film, and this ending scene is obviously the most iconic out of all of them. I remember the snow, 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 and all the different fun things with Danny Kaye, just making you laugh. And I think that there was a lot of real life coming through that film. And maybe even from what you're telling me with the story and what's going on behind this, you can almost feel that and the need for something like this at the time to come through. I struggled a lot with this one. I'll be honest with you, not because the actual process wasn't fun. I loved it, but I wanted to make sure that I did it justice. And I was trying so hard to do different formats and different paint colors. And I realized it's really about that snow and that white Christmas feel. And so I used that same roller that I talked about in our last session together and pulled little bits of white into even on top of their clothes in some areas, almost like you would have it be snowing right into the painting or right out of the painting, if you will. And I think that really helps with me feeling better about this as a final product and able to stand behind it 100% and feel like I got somewhere close to capturing what I wanted to capture. And I think that's enough said. I think what you talked about with that is my heart in this piece, and it's probably my favorite one in the whole book, with a close second. So
Yeah, it's a fan piece for sure. Interestingly, transitioning from this painting to the next painting, because in White Christmas, Bing plays a serviceman, a military man, and that you look at the scenes with him in there, and he's on the battlefield, and that's actually drawn from his own experience because Bing spent several months with the troops in Europe, entertaining them. He had a real heart for them. He insisted that the top brass sit in the back of all his concerts that he did for the guys. Um, he they wrote him letters, and he responded to each one individually, personally. Their families wrote him letters. He also responded to those. And his own family, after he passed away in 1977, his family found a box up in the attic, and it was filled with letters that the troops had sent to him, and he had saved all of them.
Wow.
And yeah, and included in that box, though, were some letters that he had written to servicemen that didn't get them. They were returned to sender because they didn't make it. So Bing he saved those because he wanted to remember. And so looking at this painting, for me, just reminds us of the heart that he had. And you and I specifically relate to that. I have 2 books that I've already written about the troops of World War II, and I know you have a heart for the troops as well, just in the work you do. So this painting in particular means a lot to us.
Yes, that definitely means a lot to me. And I don't even feel like I need to humble brag or anything, but if you know me and you follow me, you'll see that I definitely donate a lot of my time and art and raise money for a number of charities. The shirt I'm wearing is from one of those charities, and military charities, very targeted. And a lot of my artwork is patriotic in nature. And so doing this piece was definitely just an easy flow, if you will, right onto the canvas. And I already knew as soon as I saw that image, I was, yes, please, can we do that one? And I think it worked perfectly in the book. And it's fun. I think it's really cool to see that kind of hanging on to the, he still had that swag to him, as I mentioned earlier. I don't even know what else to call it. It's just being, right? It's that's him, and it really captured who he is and everything in the book. So,
for sure, yeah, Bing was comfortable wherever he went in the world, and he was for sure thankful. He was grateful to these guys, and he was just happy to be with them.
I love it.
So, our last painting for the day is one that is just so fun. I'm so glad you did this one.
Yes,
everybody knows Louis Armstrong, and honestly, Bing and Louis had such a friendship that I don't know if there's a lot of celebrities who have this kind of friendship that they had. Bing drew a lot of inspiration from Louis. He first saw him at the beginning of his career in 1925, and he was just blown away at Louis's presence on stage and the way that he was such a good entertainer and so good at what he did. And that was an encouragement for Bing later in his career to introduce jazz and scat and things like that to America, who of course responded and loved it. And so it was just fun to see these two together, hamming it up for the camera. I believe they're on set of High Society from 1956. So it's just fun. And if you ever get to see the scenes with them in that movie, you'll know some of the backstory of this picture. But I just love the color. I love the design. I love everything.
Oh, wonderful. I too am a huge fan of both of these musicians, of course, and seeing them together is just like magic. It's like chemistry upon chemistry because of who they were and everything that they brought to us musically and in front of screen and everything. I decided on this one, as a matter of fact, to do a background gradient of really bright color and then put the dark tones on top. So a lot of what you see in the shirt in the original image might just look like a white shirt. No. We got to jazz it up a little bit. We got to add a little energy to it. So even the cymbals and the action and the motion on that, it's as if he's just been playing a little bit and things are excited and alive, and it actually means something. And he's got that little bit of a smirk with his mouth open a little bit, probably singing a little tune, scatting a little bit. As you said, now I got to watch this movie too. We got to get them all out. Let's have a little movie night with the book. I think that would be fun, but obviously a lot of fun to do, and another one of my favorites.
That's great. Well, these were 5 really good ones. Can't wait to see what we have for tomorrow.
Yes, thank you so much for watching these, and we got one more for you. And don't forget, you can pick up this book and you can actually hear some soundtracks from it. Yes, make sure you get a book so you can scan that QR code. I'm looking forward to doing that myself some more. Thank you.